Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? So I'm pretty excited for this video because I'm going to be doing a first impression on the new Menagerie Cosmetics Violet Ink palette, which this is what the outer packaging looks like. It is a really stunning purple monochromatic palette. I fell in love with it when I first saw it and I purchased it right away on the pre-order, so I'm so excited that it's finally here. It's just going to be my typical first impression type of video. I'm going to pull the palette out, do some swatches, do an eye look, and just give you my thoughts from using it one time. Although I will say that I really love the Menagerie Cosmetics formula. I have their Dragon Child palette, their Feral palette, and their Whale Song palette, and I love all of them, so I have high hopes. So here is what the packaging looks like. I think it's so beautiful. I love the sea and the purple octopus. I just think it's visually stunning. It's more of like that flat matte finish to it. And then the back is pretty plain. It just gives the information. It's vegan, cruelty-free. There's a total net weight of 12 grams. And it's a pressed pigment micro palette. So this palette retails for $19.99, but it is currently out of stock on the Menagerie website. All right, so here is the inside. There is a nice little mirror. It's obviously going to be small because the palette is small, but it's actually really good quality and I could totally do my makeup with this mirror. It's the perfect size to where you can see like right here all across your eyes, so I think it's a good size and it's very crystal clear. It's not a bad quality mirror by any means. And then these are the colors, so I think that they are so beautiful. So this palette has 4 mattes and 2 metallics, and I did want to mention that I felt like whenever I saw it online, I thought it was really beautiful and I loved that it was all purples, and I purchased it of course, so I did really like it, but there was something about it that it just seemed like it was lacking kind of a range of depth, because when I personally look for a palette, I want there to be a little bit of light shades, a little bit of medium shades, a little bit of deep shades, so that I feel like I can create the kind of looks that I personally enjoy. And I just wasn't sure from seeing online. I thought some of the shades looked kind of similar. I just felt like there was a lot of similarities, but I think that when you see them in person, it's a lot easier to see the differences between all the shades. They all have their own unique undertones, and I already thought I was going to like it, but I have slightly higher hopes after seeing it in person. So let's just go ahead and start swatching. I think I don't want to swatch them in order. I want to do the mattes and go from lightest to darkest, just so you can see that range of depth and so that I can see it too, because I haven't swatched them yet. So first I'm going to go ahead and start off with the lightest purple here, which is called Jellyfish. Oh gosh, that swatch is like a dream. It is so smooth. So there's Jellyfish, very pigmented. And then I'm going to go ahead and swatch Iron Grip, which is like a mid-tone, almost a little bit mauve-y purple. Again, super, super creamy. Then I think I'm going to go ahead and do Octopi, this purple right here. I'm really curious to see if these are going to end up staining, because purple eyes will be an interesting look. Now I'm going to go ahead and swatch Inkjet, which I think is going to be the darkest purple. It seems to have some really nice depth to it. It's such a beautiful shade. So there are all the mattes. I think that they definitely have a really beautiful mixture going on here. These two actually seem to have a little bit of blue to them, but overall really pretty. Last but not least, for the metallics, there is Mimic, which is kind of a mid-tone purple, which almost looks like it has a little bit of a pinkiness to it. And then 3 Hearts is a deeper metallic, and it looks to be just like a true primary purple. I know purple's not technically a primary color, but it doesn't look like it has a ton of like crazy undertones. It doesn't go super blue, doesn't go super like pinky. It's just a true purple. So Mimic has a little bit more texture to it. I can feel in the pan it feels a little bit looser, and 3 Hearts feels a little bit more creamy, but they both look really, really stunning. Alright, so that is the entire Violet Ink palette. I think it looks really, really beautiful, and I'm excited to get it on my eyes. Before we jump into the eye look, I did buy just a few single shadows from Menagerie when I placed my order for the Violet Ink palette, so I thought it would be fun to go ahead and swatch those really quickly. Also because there is a stunning purple here, and I'm kind of curious to see how this will compare to the purples in the Violet Ink palette, so we'll go ahead and start off with that one. except I threw it. All right, so first off, we have the shade Starling, which is kind of like a purpley gold. Oh my gosh, that is so pretty. All right, so there's Starling. Oh yeah, it's got such a stunning gold shift through it. It's really pretty. All right, next I have the shade Canary, which is so beautiful. My goodness, it is a like yellow with a pink shift through it. I just live for really unique shadows, so this one definitely caught my attention. Oh my goodness. Oh, you can see it now. The violet ink is staining. I didn't even realize that's on my fingers. Anyways, I hope you guys can see that shift. You probably can't, but it is so stunning. I'm officially obsessed. I don't have anything like this. It's just such a bright yellow and the pink shift is so prominent. My goodness, that is beautiful. Oh my goodness. Okay. Obsessed, obsessed, obsessed. Obsessed. Okay, next I have the shade Eel-ectric, which I actually already pulled out and put back because I was checking the name. This shade looks so different than what I thought it was going to look like that I was like, is this even the right shade? So it's, oh gosh, okay. It's like a super bright green. And I thought it was like a super yellowy green. Like I wasn't expecting it to be so green. I thought it was way more on the yellow side. So I was a little confused when I saw this. I just feel like it, I mean, it's super bright. It looks really cool. It kind of reminds me of Friends from the Paulina palette. So I like greens. It's just, it's not the shade that I was expecting. Dang, that is so bright though. But I'm kind of disappointed because I thought it was going to be way more yellowy. Yeah, it's not as unique as I had originally thought. But it swatches really nicely. I'm not mad at it. I'm still going to use it. And then last but not least is the shade, I think this is Friends. Let me see. Besties. I was close. It's the shade Besties, and this was actually in the Courtship palette, which was their other little micro palette, and I liked that one, but it was more on the neutral side. I just didn't see myself using all the shades, but this is the standout shade to me. I saw so many people talking about it, saying it was such a good shadow. Every look that I saw using that palette, this was the shade I was attracted to. And one of the amazing things about Menagerie Cosmetics is that they take their palettes and they sell all of the singles individually, which is awesome. So if you're like me with the Courtship palette and you don't want to buy the entire thing, you can get just the one or the two shades that really draw your attention, which this is like a coppery orangey just bronze, but then it has a pink shift to it. So the way that you guys see it now is super pink, but whenever I look at it the other way, it goes super orangey bronze, which is really fun. So those are all the little swatches. I think that they all look stunning. I'm going to focus on the violet ink palette today because that's what this is about, but I cannot wait to do a look with this yellow. I cannot wait. So I went ahead and primed my eyes already with the Anastasia eye primer. I just have the little mini size. I've been testing that out. And I think for today's look, I'm going to go ahead and start off with the shade Jellyfish. This one right here. So I'm going to go ahead and start that off as my transition, just putting it right into the crease and then buffing it out. Such a pretty color. So far the formula is reminding me exactly the same as the Whale Song, where it just looks so smooth and beautiful and easy to blend, and it builds up, but it just has this intense creaminess to it. I just really love the Menagerie formula. Alright, next I'm going to go ahead and grab this shade right here called Iron Grip. I feel like when I swatched it, it kind of came off deeper than I thought it would originally be, but it looks like such a beautiful shade, so I'm going to go ahead and put that into my outer V. And then just lightly blending that out. I think I took too much because I wanted to go in with even less than that. It's just so pigmented. Alright, I'm just going to go ahead and go back with my brush and blend, just kind of keeping it kind of soft and just really without edges. I'm actually gonna go ahead and as soon as I finish filming today, I'm taking my little sister to her piano lessons. So I'm trying not to go like full on crazy. I might not use every single shade in the palette today, but I will definitely do more looks with it in the future. I think I might go ahead though and take just a little tiny bit of the shade Inkjet. This one right here. Maybe I will use every color, but I'm just gonna take just the tiniest little amount and pop that right onto my outer V. Honestly, this color comes off a little bit more like navy. Alright, for my lower lash line, I'm going to go ahead and start off with this shade called Octopi. And I guess I'll just like run it along my entire lower lash line. I don't really have a plan. I'm going to go ahead and dip into 3 hearts. I'll pop that onto the front of my lower lash line. It's really beautiful metallic purple. It's got such a bright pop to it. I am getting just a tiny bit of fallout, but nothing too crazy. So now, last but not least, I'm going to go ahead and take the shade Mimic. Such a pretty shade. I feel like I'm not using the right type of brush to pick this up, but it's a beautiful color. It's kind of like this stunning purpley gray kind of. I don't know. I feel like there's some type of gray base to it. That's really pretty. This is not a good brush for this formula. I don't know what I'm doing. Honestly, I'm feeling pretty lazy. So I'm gonna go ahead and just grab it on my finger. Show you the difference. Just tap that all over my lid because I don't really need it to be precise anyways. It's just gonna be purple going into other purples. So, oh gosh, that's really pretty. Oh, that is stunning. I'm going to grab the brush I used for the matte shades and just slightly buff out the edge right here so it's not harsh in any way. And it all just kind of flows together. And then for my inner corner highlight, I'm just going to grab my little inner corner highlight palette that I made. I did like a full single shadow Saturday on this. And I think I'm going to go ahead and grab the shade right here called Walk of Shame from Looksy Beauty, which is kind of like a white with a pinky purple mix to it. And I'm just going to go ahead and pop that onto my inner corner. See that really beautiful purple shift to it? It's just going to look so stunning with these colors. I'm going to kind of bring it up and like wrap it around a little bit. Alright, so to finish off my eyes really quickly, I'm going to go into the Ardency in liner in the shade Lilac and pop that on my waterline, and then I'm going to use the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I already have a little bit of mascara already on because I had makeup on earlier, had an eyeshadow look, but I just wiped the eyes off in order to do this first impression. So I'm going to just add just a little bit of mascara to kind of, you know, just finish everything off. Alright, so to finish off the look, I'm going to go ahead and grab my e.l.f. lip oil in the shade Pink Kiss. Just gonna go ahead and throw that on my lips because I feel like it'll add like a really pretty pinky glossy look, and I like the idea of pink and purple together. Alright, so this is the finished look using the Violet Ink palette, and I really love how it turned out. I am so happy to have this in my collection because, for one, I think it is just so cute and adorable. I love the color selection. I think purples are such a stunning, beautiful color, and I think that they're so versatile. They could be perfect for spring and summer and just doing like light washes of coral and just doing light washes of purple, or you can do them for winter and have those like really rich purpley cool toned looks. So I think that this is really beautiful. I also just really adore the Menagerie Cosmetics formula. I feel like it's so good, especially the mattes are just so creamy and intense, and just the way that they look on the eye, it's so hard to explain, but there's just this difference that you can see when sometimes you use a shadow and it just like it's there, but it just something about the Menagerie Cosmetics shadows make them so intense on the eyes, and I just really love them. So I'm just excited to have more matte shades from them. The shimmers are also really beautiful. I feel like I have to play with them definitely more to give my final opinion on these two colors, because 3 Hearts, I mean, I threw it on the lower lash line, but I feel like any shade could look good on the lower lash line, so I'll definitely have to do a look with that all over the lid. Let me know down below if you want to see some more looks with this palette, and I will definitely try and do that in a timely manner. I'm like trying to catch up up on so many things all the time and do so many looks, but I think that this is really beautiful and it could be fun to do like 3 looks with it and do a bunch of monochromatic purple. So I think it's really stunning, and I could say that I'm happy that I purchased it. Even though this is a first impression, the formula feels the same as all the other Menagerie palettes I've used, so I think I strongly give it an A. I really like it. So that's basically everything for today's video. I'm trying to think. Oh wait, I had someone ask me if I could compare this to the Hasina 2 from Blush Tribe. One second. Alright, so here's what the Blush Tribe Hasina 2 palette looks like. Here's the cover in case you're not familiar with it. It has such a beautiful color story of purples, some blues, some greens. There's definitely quite a few really beautiful different purple tones going on here. So really quickly, I'm just going to go ahead and do some swatches just in case anyone already owns this palette. I can't think of anything else to compare this to directly. Maybe like the Morphe 39S is kind of similar, but I feel like they don't even compare just because of how as palettes they are so completely different. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and let's see. Actually, the tones of the mattes are really not that similar. I don't know if you can tell there, like this is true purple and this has a little bit more pinky to it. So I think I'll go ahead and I guess I'll swatch Iris compared to Jellyfish. Mohan doesn't, it looks so much brighter. It kind of looks like 3 Hearts, but 3 Hearts is metallic. And then Destiny kind of looks like Mimic. So honestly, these 2 shades here are the only ones that look super similar. So here's Iris from Hasina and Jellyfish from Menagerie. Here is Destiny from Hasina and Mimic from Menagerie, which they really don't look exactly the same either. Let's see, there's Grainy from Hasina. I don't think that really, no, that's not quite the same either. And then just for the heck of it, this is 3 Hearts from Menagerie and Mohan from the Blush Tribe Hasina 2. These are obviously super similar colors, but completely different formulas because one is a really intense metallic and the other is a matte. So I would definitely say that there's no true repeats between the 2 palettes. Alright, so that is everything for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.